So, Barcelona and Manchester City. Should be easy, right? How are we doing, everybody, and welcome to part 11 of Club 3 here on MyCareer on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video where, as mentioned, we've got two slightly difficult games. We've got the game in the Champions League stage, which I'm still not a fan of, although it's called the Champions League. So I suppose on that basis, it kind of anyway, we've got that game. And then we've also got a game against Manchester City in the Premier League. A Man City team who, as we're currently talking, are one game behind us in the league. They've played one game less, and if they win that game in hand, they will go above us to the top of the league, because we are currently top as things stand. So we are doing very well, and if you are excited to see how well we can continue to keep doing, don't forget to leave a like on there for me, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the lovely Football Manager nonsense that comes out of this space right here. Since you were last with me, honestly, it's been a bit up. Well, it's been very up, and then we had a period where it was very down. You can see this random 3-game stretch here where I was tearing my hair out. I could not work out what was going on. 3 losses in a row. Chelsea and Liverpool, you can understand. Crystal Palace, that was a weird one, including 2 home games in there as well. It was very, very strange. After the Villa game, we did demolish Everton 5-0. All 5 goals coming in the first half. Squeezed past Brentford, battered Leicester, had that weird stretch, and then since then we've kind of turned things around a little bit. Swansea, it took the former Swansea player James Price to put them away with a hat-trick, a superb hat-trick it has to be said, but it was a bit tougher than it looks there. We then cruised past Bournemouth 3-1, Pinamonti back in the goals with Velosa getting 1 as well. The 2 games against Brentford, honestly, they weren't as tight as they look. We did dominate them, but it did have me a little bit worried. One of those, of course, was in the semi-final of the EFL Cup. We've got the other leg of that coming up at the end of the month. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the Champions League and the Premier League games against Barcelona and Man City, respectively. Now, Champions League. We have already qualified for the playoffs. We are a couple of points off of the elite group that gets past the playoffs to the next round. So, ideally, we want some good results. Now, Barcelona currently in 19th. Their record at the moment is 3 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses. Ours is 4 wins, 2 losses. Barcelona are having a worse Champions League campaign than we are. They are, however, second in La Liga to Real Madrid, only by a point now. So they are having a spectacular season. Pedro Neto, one of the top goal scorers in the league for them, but he's the only player of consequence other than Rafinha. Rafinha's got to be getting on a bit now. It's 32, yeah, getting on a little bit now. But yeah, so they're having a decent season, but not in Europe. In Europe, they are struggling a little bit. Just to have a look as well, in terms of people who are really struggling, Porto and Dortmund look like the big names who are going to get knocked out. Benfica and Besiktas at risk of getting knocked out as well. But it looks like, Arsenal have had a stellar campaign, as have Real Madrid. So they're all doing really well. In terms of transfers, we haven't really come up with anything at the moment other than Marcos Antonio has told us he wants to leave at the end of his contract. So we're trying to shift him on now. We accepted a £35 million bid from Paris Saint-Germain, but he turned the deal down. So he's not going there, at least not yet anyway. And no one else has come in for him. So wait and see what happens. But your team for the game against Barcelona is as follows. It's Lunin in goal, Livramento, Cresswell. But in fact, it's not going to be Cresswell. Doesn't like big games. Don't trust him in this one. As good as he's been playing recently, and he has been, I don't trust him in this one. So, try that again, shall we? Lunin in goal. Livramento, Borno, Pavlovic and Thomas in defence. Lavia, Ward-Prowse and Veloso in the midfield with Marles on the wing. And Pinamonti and Price in this offset front 2. We have had a few issues in recent times, which does kind of coincide with that 3-game stretch that we really struggled to do anything in. Pinamonti, Lavia, I think Marles at one point as well, Veloso. A lot of those guys have had to have little breaks. Now, I don't typically give players a week off. I don't like doing it. I'm just having a quick look at the Barcelona team. Fati up front, Sancho, Ferran Torres, Pedri, Gavi, Fiorentina, Luis. Cucurella's in there as well. They've got an early free kick. I don't think this is going to go very well. It's Gavi with an early free kick. I'll get back onto my points in a minute. And Lunin does make a bit of a worldie of a save. We've had a lot of players who've been really tired, so we've had to rotate quite a bit recently. And I have to say, that looks like it's over the line. Quite frankly, I think Barcelona have been a bit done there if that is how it looks. But yeah, we have had to rotate the team quite a bit, and it's been a slog. I've got to be honest with you. It has been a bit of a slog. James Price at one point was our main striker, and we were having Cole Palmer play off of him. I toyed around with that combination a little bit, and actually Cole Palmer had a couple of games where he was really good as the deep line forward on the side, and we had a couple of games where Price did really well there with Cole Palmer basically being a decoy forward. I don't know. I feel like it's not as good Pinamonti is than Tin. Pinamonti, they're just so good. There's just a difference in quality. I mean, this might get disallowed. I don't think it's going to. Just so good. It has been disallowed. Okay, game on again. It is still 0-0. So that definitely hasn't helped things. We also had an injury to Lunin. So the kid we've got on the bench, whose name I can not recall. Click on subs. Bursic from Manchester United. He's had to play 2 or 3 games for us. And I'll be honest, he wasn't spectacular. Kept a clean sheet against Leicester. I think he did anyway. We won against Leicester is probably a better way of putting it. Pinamonti's miles offside there. Absolutely miles. It's 1-1 on disallowed goals at the moment. But yeah, so that was a bit of an issue. Lunin also has had a couple of games where, oh my word, he's made some clangers. The frustrating thing is, because of the season he's had, I'd love to bring Hoyenhal back. He's one of 2 players of the millions we've got out on loan who doesn't have a recall clause, so we can't bring him back. We've got to wait until next season for Hoyenhal to give him another chance. And I think once he comes back, that's it then. I think we commit to him being our starting goalkeeper. Lunin is a solid goalkeeper who has a clanger in him, but the clangers are a little bit more frequent than I would like them to be. By the way, I do like the fact we're competing with Barcelona here. Like, they are definitely better than we are, but we're not having it. We're kind of putting our hand up and going, no, sir. No. We are giving them a chance. Well, we are giving ourselves a chance at possibly sneaking a goal against them. We're having opportunities. They are struggling to deal with us. I mean, we're really struggling to deal with them. Bayern Munich having a wonderful time out there, by the way. It's 5-0 against their opponents. Right, Pedri, who we were warned about in the media, can't get through Bornau, but Bornau dwells on the ball, and Ansu Fati's in here. Maybe I should have left Cresswell in the team. Maybe it was Bornau I should have brought out. Koundé is in now, and oh, it's a messy goal. It's the exact type of goal I hate when we concede, and it is 1-0 to Barcelona. It's not a worldie. It's not a beautifully crafted goal. It's a defensive mistake from Bornau, who might be our captain, but he has done that a few times. He hasn't got any bad traits or anything. I mean, it's poor. It's really poor in the middle of the park, like in the middle of the box there. And we do go down by a 1-0. I'm not too unhappy. It is Barcelona after all, but I'm a bit disappointed in the nature of that. It's right on the stroke of half-time as well. Oh, that's disappointing. Right, well, say that one. Luke Thomas has not had a good game. I'm going to say not good enough. Lavia, not good enough. I've stressed him out. That's great. Pinamonti's not had much of an opportunity. They're telling me he's not played well. I'm going to say the same to James Price. Can't really say anything to Bornau about making a mistake, because he did make a mistake. He just gave the ball away. Really frustrating. Right. I think we're going to do something we've done a few times. Livramento is going to go to left back. Jimenez is going to come on a right back. We're going to leave the striking situation as it is for now. But what we are going to do is we're going to try and launch the ball over the top. So we're going to change this to area. We're going to go over the defence. We'll leave that off. But we're going to do that. We're going to try and go attacking. Because again, we'd like to qualify for the Champions League proper. The next round proper, rather than have to go through the playoffs if we can. It will reduce the amount of games we've got, which we need at the moment. We are playing so many games. We've played 2 games a week so often in this save, which you're not the only team that's doing it, but it's the first time I've had to deal with it, and my word, we're playing some games at the moment. Right, we go again. We demand more from the boys. Koundé with the throw. Price intercepts beautifully there. Pinamonti now to Lavia. Veloso trying to get it to Marles, but he doesn't really do a good job of it. And the ball is back with Ter Stegen. Stegen now pops it down to Ibanez. Cucurella looking for options. Goes back to Ibanez. Pedri. Again, we were warned in the media about Pedri, and I don't know how much he's pulled the strings today, but he's a quality player. I had a look at him before this game. Oh my word, he's turned into a quality player. At 26 years old as well, he's still got room to grow. Right, Ferran goes around Livramento there like he doesn't exist. Pedri now, just waiting for the right opportunity. Cucurella gets it out wide. Going to try and whip it in here. He's going to go short. He goes short actually to Pedri, back to Cucurella, into Florentino Luis, into Kounde. Kounde's going to go for it here. Goes for a wally and just ripples the netting. I'm going to go attacking. We're already losing. Let's just go for it. We've got nothing to lose. I think Pinamonti is coming off. I mean, James Price would as well if we had another striker. I'm toying with the idea of bringing Tommy Gardner back off of his loan, by the way. Don't know whether we will. We might just leave him where he is. But two-striker system, we are struggling a little bit because once one of them's gone, having to put someone like Cole Palmer or Darian Marles out there, and it doesn't really work the same. I mean, Cole Palmer every now and then does do well there, but not often enough, if I'm honest. Right, Lavia's not having a good game. Ugarte, who has had a decent run of games recently, he can come on. We'll leave James Price on. I mean, apparently he's a 4-star advanced forward at the moment, so let's give him the opportunity to shine. We're going to fire the boys up and see whether we can just sneak a goal. Again, bear in mind, it is Barcelona. He's having a shocking game now. He's having an absolutely shocking game, his Price. Right. I mean, we've had a bunch of chances there, apparently. We are having opportunities. Right, final changes. We've got two left. Got a lot of yellow cards out there as well, which is a bit of a concern. Velosso's not had a great game. Price has to come off, but I've got no one to bring him off for. That's the problem. And I could switch it to Marles, but Marles is shattered. Right, I think we'll bring Marles off, but we're not going to swap him around there. I think we'll bring on... I mean, it's going to have to be Springer. I don't want to bring on Albastegi. I'd rather bring on Springer because he's got a bit of magic in him. And we'll bring Veloso off as well. I'd rather keep him on. He's knackered. And Lewis Murray does have a little bit of magic in him. Right. Fire up, boys. Final few minutes. We've closed the gap in terms of opportunities. Let's just try and get more. We're level with them. We're ahead of them on XG. Which is going to make the fact we're going to lose this game heartbreaking. Got one more highlight. We've got one more highlight. And we have the ball. Right, Pavlovic gets it over to Borno. They're going to pass it between them at the moment. Livramento getting it to Price. Price, who has had a shocking game. And you can tell with the pass there. Murray does really well to intercept, but can't actually capitalise on it. And Barcelona come again. And, right, who's this? Borno. Borno's done. Borno is done. Even if we have to keep him for the rest of the season, Sebastian Borno is done. He hasn't run there. Yes, he's tired. The entire team is tired. Just watch the poorness of this here. This is such an easy thing to cut off. He just stops. He just stops. He's the club captain. He should be busting the gut to get that. And he's let us down there. We're through to the playoff regardless. But that's infuriating to me. That's absolutely infuriating to me. We have had real chances in this game. And if we intercept that and launch counter-attack, who knows what could have happened. I know that's pie-in-the-sky stuff. But we've got no chance of getting anything out of this game now. We're not scoring 2 goals. We might score 1. But that's it. I'm a little bit annoyed at that. And I think Borno is the one who made a mistake there. Borno apparently is tired. I mean, he's not going to be playing the next game, that's for sure. It's going to have to be Cresswell. It's going to have to be because Borno, number one, he's getting a fine if I'm allowed to fine him. Which I'm not. We played well there, all things considered, actually. We definitely, well, we started off poorly, but we matched them towards the ends. And again, that leaves the table looking like this. Remember, we are qualified for the playoffs, so it doesn't really matter too much. There's a 3-point gap between ourselves and Wolfsburg. Who do Wolfsburg have in their final game of this stage? They have Ajax. Ajax could very easily beat them. Ajax could very easily beat them, whereas we have got Rennes. Rennes have no hope whatsoever of qualifying. No hope whatsoever. So, let's see what we can do, shall we? But we have got in 3 days' time, again, this schedule. If I show you on training, I mean, I'm not going to be able to show you the previous games. Well, I can show you a couple of them. That's the biggest break we've had there in like a couple of months. Then it's a couple of days, game, couple of days, game, 3 days, game, couple of days, game, 3 days, game, 3 days, game, couple of days, game, couple of days, game. It is relentless at the moment. This is the way it's been for the last few months. I'm not crying about it. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know that's the way it's been. I know it's been the way for every team, but we seem to be really struggling. Right, enough of that nonsense. Man City, coming up next. We're back for the game against Manchester City in the Premier League, but before that, I do need to share one thing with you. Well, first thing, we've recalled Tommy Gardner. We need another striker, and he's a natural striker. He had 4 goals in 11 appearances at Bordeaux. That's decent enough. I mean, he had 10 in 19 for us last season, so we know we can score goals in this league. We've brought him back to be an extra body, and hopefully he can hit the ground running as and when we need him. Now, one thing to point out is his potential has dropped dramatically. He's now only a 3.5 star potential player, which is still good enough to be a part of this side. But that's not what I've brought you back. I'm going to type in a word into the search bar here and show you that. I keep meaning to mention, I should say, that we've not had any word on takeover since the last time I said I'd let you know. Nothing's come up, and all of a sudden this has come up. A tycoon. I mean, we get that this could be the final club in the save, which would be ridiculous. But I just wanted to quickly show you that. Nothing more has come of that, but that's what's there. But this is going to be the team for Man City. Now, it's again, pointing out, Tommy Gardner is on the bench. We're leaving Borno out. We're giving him a rest. He does need one. So Nathan Collins is on the bench in his place. But this is going to be the 11 for the game against Manchester City. It is Lunin in goal, Livramento, Cresswell, Pavlovic, and Thomas in defence. Lavia, Ward-Prowse and Veloso in the midfield with Marles, Pinamonti and Price as that front offset 3. I was tempted to start Ugarte instead of Lavia. Do you know what? I've just taught myself into it. Ugarte starting. The reason why Ugarte started is because Lavia didn't have a good time out last time. And I'm fairly confident Ugarte got mentioned in the press conference before it. So let's give him a chance. Let's see whether he can do the job for us today. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. The Man City team is ridiculous, but it is quite old. So let's just see what we can do. I mean, there's the team there. There's some names you won't recognise, but there's some that you will. Foden's still there, Haaland's still there. They've got Jude Bellingham and Joshua Kimmich in the midfield, which is utterly ridiculous. So, let's see whether we can get the job done. Now, they have one game in hand on us still, which would put them above us. So, this is a great opportunity for us to build a gap. Equally, it's a great opportunity for them to go ahead of us and then have another game to be able to increase that gap. So, it really is must win. Watch it be a draw now, I've said that. It really is must win for both teams, but it will probably end up being a draw. Big ball forward to Erling Haaland, and that's probably 1-0. He's gone for the chip. What an audacious effort that was. I mean, it didn't go anywhere near the goal, but what an audacious effort that was. Right. They have tried to draw first blood. They've had the first attack. We are still waiting for our first attack, apparently, which is a bit of a concern. Boys, it's football. Can you do football stuff, please? That's okay. Ward-Prowse with the corner, obliging, whipped in, looking for Pavlovic, but Edison is still going in this universe. 35 years old. I had a look at him before the game. He does still look like an excellent goalkeeper. I mean, he's a goalkeeper. They keep their ability quite long after what you'd consider a normal footballer's peak. We know this in real life. We know this. But he's still definitely doing very, very well indeed. Veloso with a great tackle on Erling Haaland, but it puts it into the path of Johnson. Don't know who Johnson is. Oh, it's Brennan Johnson. Is that the guy from Nottingham Forest? Playing for Man City? Are you sure, game? Are you sure? I mean, annoyingly, fairly confident, it's Joe Veloso with the assist. It is. Brennan Johnson from Nottingham Forest. To be fair to him, he went and played his trade over at Leipzig for a while. Okay. Alright. Well, this is turning out to be a bit of a tough episode, isn't it? Because I've got a feeling it's only going to get worse. We've not had a shot so far. Not a single shot. Maybe we'll get one now. Ward-Prowse with the corner. Looking for the header Pinamonti, apparently. Right, Price heads it down to Veloso. Veloso out to Ugarte. He's going to go for a Wildie, isn't he? Oh, he nearly gets it, though. He hits the post, and it gets cleared away, and we have a throw-in. What a shot. So unfortunate, and we have a throw. Right, Livramento trying to get into the box. Can't quite find Marles, though. And we've done ourselves in a little bit because I keep forgetting to put Luke Thomas. I thought I put Luke Thomas on throw-ins. Why is Livramento taking that throw-in? I'm sure I sorted that. I told you to remind me and you didn't remind me. Goodness me. Right, Tobias tries to whip it in. Ugart clears it out. They're so good. That midfield. Just the Bellingham and Kimmich part of that midfield is outrageous. And Erling Haaland scored a second. And Man City are going top of the Premier League. Brennan Johnson, I tell you what, he's having a game. He's having an absolute game. We are not. We're rating the boys. This is shocking. This is absolutely shocking. Right, Tino, running down the wing. Gets it to Marles. Marles has had a poor one as well. He's coming off at half-time. We're making a few changes at half-time, I think, because this has been a bit of a disgusting performance, really. I know it's Man City. I know this is a team who we should be losing against, but we've not actually shown anything in this game. Maybe it's how tired we are. Haaland's in again. Oh, Haaland's in again, and I think it's onside. I think it's onside. 3, isn't it? Yeah, it's 3. Well. Alright. That's, humbling. Okay, made 2 changes. Ugart and Marles are off. Brought on Romeo Lavia and Cole Palmer. 2 former Man City boys, actually. I could change the whole team. I mean, if we had Hoyenhal, he'd be coming off the bench because Lunin has had a shocker on a 6.1. He ain't going to recover from that. He's just not. Tommy Gardner is probably going to be coming on at some point, but I'm going to give Pinamonti and Price the benefit of the doubt for now. I mean, then just not having the service, and when they are, they're getting swarmed out there. So I'm hoping that bringing a bit more energy in the midfield would do. I've also done something to the opposition instructions as well. But I think this game is unsalvageable at this point. I think we're playing for pride. I think that's gone as well. They've been able to take off Erling Haaland. They're so confident in this result. They've taken off Haaland. They've taken off Phil Foden as well. They've brought on Nugent in his place as far as Haaland goes. And they've brought on Paulinho. Because, of course, they have. Right, Price now into Pinamonti. Are we going to get a goal back? We actually have got a goal back almost straight away. James Price with the assist, Pinamonti with the goal. And the strikers do combine to get a goal here. So we have put a chink in the armour. We have drawn blood. All that for a drop of blood. Veloso does really well here, though. We come out of the blocks like a demon. Like a demon possessed. And Price and Pinamonti work well. Credit goes to to Veloso as well. He really did help out making the goal there. It's only our second shot of the game. But we do draw blood. We've proven it can be done. Let's do it again, shall we? I'm just going to fire the boys up. Let's get a few more chances in there. The more chances we get, the more holes in the armour we can punch in, the more doubt we're going to put into them. Let's do that. Alternatively, we'll not have another highlight. There's that as well. We've got a highlight, and it's their replacement striker with the shot, and Lunin actually makes a really good save there. Really good save indeed. He's down to a 6.0. That's got to push that up, surely. We are going to have to make a couple more changes, because A, players are getting ready to drop. Absolutely getting ready to drop. And also, just just not playing well. I mean, the centre-backs are having the worst game ever. Cresswell, we kind of knew, if I'm being honest, wasn't for Borno being absolutely shattered at having made what the game doesn't recognise as a mistake, but I see as an absolute mistake. Oh my God. Pavlovic, what are you doing? I just couldn't risk it today with him. I just couldn't risk it at all. Paulinho whips it in, looking for the head of Laporte, but Pavlovic actually clears it right. It is substitute o'clock now. We are going to take off Cresswell. I mean, Nathan Collins, who comes on, believe it or not. No, actually, yeah. Is it though? I mean, yeah, we'll do that. Jimenez can come on for you. And to be fair, Tino's having a good game. So actually, Luke Thomas is going to be the one who comes off. We've got one more change left. Ward-Prowse has had an absolute shocker. So I'm going to go a bit nuts. We're going to bring on Tommy Gardner. And we're going to go 3 up top. I know he's ridiculous. I'm aware. I'm utterly aware of how ridiculous it is. We're going to make you a Mazzala as well. I'm going to put you guys forward. We're already losing. Let's just go for it, shall we? Let's just go for it. I'm actually going to make you an inverted wing back on support. So you're going to tuck into this bit here. Put Veloso to be a supporting Mazzala. You're going to get wide here. And we're just aiming for the front 3. See what we can do. I know how ridiculously insane that comes across as a plan. Barely comes across as a plan. It's like 12% of a plan. Get the Marvel reference, let me know. But we're just going to go for it. Let's just see. We've got a lot of firepower up front. Tommy Gardner's returned to the club. We are leaving ourselves very open. But it's fine. We got to take risks sometimes. We're already losing the game. We can only lose it more. So we might as well just go for it and see if we can give ourselves a chance at getting another goal. Frustratingly, since we've made the change, we've actually not had a chance, which is a bit concerning. I'd quite like us to get the ball off of them and to actually give ourselves the opportunity. Where is Jimenez? He took so far in there. I don't really know why. Fire up, boys. Let's have at least one more opportunity for us to watch in this game. That'd make me happy. I'm not happy. That was appalling, really. I mean, it's Erling Haaland's world and we're all living in it in that first half. I mean, the strikers did really well to get that early goal. We didn't capitalise on the momentum that would have gave us. I'm not happy with the result. I'm not happy with the result. I'm going to say I don't like it. I would have liked to have turned around and said, look, they're a better team than us. Sometimes you just have to accept it. That does put Man City a point ahead of us with a game in hand. So they are going to build a gap, I would imagine. I would believe that we are going to struggle to get over those back-to-back losses that we've just had. I mean, we had 3 losses in a row there. We've won 4 on the bounce. Now we've lost a couple. We don't like drawing this season, apparently. We're very few and far between in terms of draws. Very few and far between. What I'm hoping is this doesn't go on to a 3rd game here against Rennes, that we can bounce back with a few wins to end the month. And fingers crossed, bounce back a little bit. Right. So, we know for a fact we're through to the Champions League. So I imagine in the month of February, we're going to have the playoffs. It's difficult for me to say when we're going to come back when we don't know what's going to happen with that. So, looking at this, it is a 2-legged contest. Bayern Munich go through there. They've gone through there. Porto have gone through there. Yeah, it's 2-legged. So, what I will do, looking at when these played, yeah, they were played in February. We'll play the first leg of whoever we play against. And if I think we're in jeopardy, we'll come back for that one. So that'll be in Feb. So it's not a large gap between games. But then what we'll do is if I think it isn't in jeopardy, we'll come back for the first Champions League proper knockout game after that. And we'll see what happens. And then we'll tie it in with another game. So if we come back in Feb, and it's around the same time as it was last year, that Man United game looks kind of tasty. But then there's the Leeds United game, which is probably a bit closer. So we'll work that out. If not, we'll come back in March, where at the moment, it's only 3 games. Thank Christ for that. So we'd come back maybe for the Spurs game or the Wolves game. So we'll see what happens with that. Just to remind you, Premier League-wise, we're still doing very, very well. let's not cry over that last game. It wasn't good, but we're still second in the league. Can't complain too much. Cole Palmer is second on the assist chart as well. Pinamonti's second on the goals chart. We've got no one on average rating. And clean sheets, Lunin is absolutely nowhere. So it is what it is. But we will see you in the next video, where hopefully we go through to the proper Champions League round. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Do remember, like the video if you have enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the Football Manager content to come in the future. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.